as a business analyst for close to 7 years now, and as I've already told you, I specialize in portfolio management, wealth management, and investment banking. That would come under the banking and financial services industry. Now, I handle different roles. I started as a fund analyst, then a research analyst. Now I'm working with the leading MNC as a business analyst. And I provide wealth management solutions to leading wealth management companies in the North American geographical location. Okay. So that's very briefly what I do. Now this is going to be the course outline today. I'm just going to spend a little time. It's not going to be a full-fledged session today, Sojana, but I'm going to talk about the course content. Now we can customize it because I know you want it to be wrapped up within 2 weeks, so we can customize it and do it according to your needs. Now, sure. Typically, I would start with an introductory session to business analysis. Before we start learning what a business analyst has to do, how it needs to be done, first it is important for us to understand who a business analyst is. Okay. And for that to happen, we will have to define this term called business analyst. Okay. Unless we get to the grassroots level, we will not be able to understand the high-level things, isn't it? So that's true. So first, we'll have to define this term called business analyst, and then try to understand the different roles and responsibilities of a business analyst. And to give you a very brief introduction about the definition of a business analyst would be an intermediary between the business client and the technical consultants of the software company. When you were a QA, you might have definitely worked with some of the PAs. So if you notice, what you would do is just an intermediary role. They would act as a liaison between the client and the internal project. Okay. And they would help in translating the requirements of the client in a way that is easily understood by the different stakeholders of the software project. Okay. Because on one side we have technical people who are experts in Java, .NET, PLSQL, manual testing, QTP, Selenium, etc. Mm-hmm. On the other side we have clients who are experts in their own business area. They can be from pharma, they can be from banking, IT, healthcare, anything. Now, based on the nature of business they are into, the kind of language that they would use would differ. Yeah. If somebody is into telecom, they would be using terms like modem, router, switch, phone, satellite communication. But on the other side, our people are talking Java Swing, Java Spring, threading, database schema, architecture, DB, etc. Is there any match between these two?
No, nothing.
But it's ultimately the developers who will have to come up with a software application that will help the client overcome their challenges, their business challenges. Mm-hmm. But they don't understand. Hence, a business analyst will have to come into picture. A business analyst is nobody but an intermediary who will help the software company in translating the needs of the client in a clear way that can be easily understood by the different stakeholders of the software project, namely the developers and the testers. Okay. Now, and that's a brief introduction. Now, and then immediately we will jump into something called as system development lifecycle or software development lifecycle. Okay. As human beings, we have our own life cycle, and there are different events that would happen in our lives, isn't it? Mm-hmm. We are born, we go to school, we go to college, start our professional life, get married, then think of buying a property, and then due to compulsions, we might have to move out of the country also, who knows. So move out of the country, earn more money, come back, start our own business, if possible, start our own business, plan for kids' education, then retire, then nothing but the eventuality, which is death, and then rebirth, if you believe in rebirth. Yeah. So these are different events that would happen in a human life cycle. Similarly, there are different events that would happen in a software project as well. Mm-hmm. The client will realize the need for a software product or a solution, and because of that they'll approach the software company. The software company will agree to do the project for them, and project gets initiated. Once project gets initiated, it is time to gather all the requirements of the client, what they would need from us. It is time to gather all the requirements, Once all those requirements are gathered, it is very important for the same requirements to get documented so that there will be a record of all these requirements, and not just that, but a detailed description of each requirement would be provided in these documents. Once these documents are prepared, this would stand as the basis for all the other activities that would happen, namely the development and testing. The developers will use these documents to to go ahead with their development activity, and once that's done, then it's handed over to the testing team to identify the quality of the product, because you will know the testing is also called QA, quality assurance.
Quality assurance.
So quality of the product is estimated or assessed by the testing team. Now these are the different events that would happen. Now once that is done, once the QA team gets a good confidence on the product, then it is time to hand over the product to the ultimate client. Now the client does UAT, you must have heard, user acceptance testing. The client will perform one round of testing on the product thoroughly and in their environment. It's a different set of environment altogether. It's a different software, different hardware. The system might tend to behave differently than what is expected. So is that the case? So there is UAT. Once UAT is done, it goes to production. So that's how it goes on. And once production is over, again the cycle starts all over again.
Okay.
This is a typical software development life cycle. Now, why should we discuss software development life cycle in a business analysis class? Is to understand the role of a business analyst at every stage of the SDLC.
SDLC, okay.
Now, we said requirement gathering. Who from the software company is responsible to gather requirements from the client? Is the business analyst.
Yeah.
Because all other people from the software company are technical experts. They are not business experts, they are not domain experts. But who is the domain expert from the software company is none other than the business analyst. It's the BA who will have to get in touch with the client and understand their requirements. The BA can do that because he understands the nature of business of the client.
Okay.
Okay. If I talk to an investment banker, I will be able to relate to that investment banker in a better way than Saujanya might do, because Saujanya's expertise is in healthcare, but my expertise in wealth management. But my developer's expertise might not be in either of these. His expertise can be into different things. So the main person from the software company who will be involved in interacting with the client and hence gather the requirement from the client is none other than the BA. Because it's the requirements is thoroughly understood by the BA, it's the same BA who will have to document those requirements in the form of a BRD and an FSD. We will look into all of that in the upcoming sessions also. Yeah? So for now, let's understand the fact that the documentation also will have to be done by the BA.
Okay. BRDs and FSDs and everything has to be done by BA. Okay.
Done by the same BA who would have gathered the requirement, or it can be different in instances.
Okay. But Sai, I have a question. Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem.
Let's say, okay, I go into whatever the sector I'm going to, the domain. So I need to have a complete knowledge into that, or maybe the basics would be fine. Let's say I'm going into the financial, or maybe I might end up in a telecom with the financial project. Let's say telecom, and I'll be end up in doing their billing application.
Mm-hmm.
So do I need to have some background information on how the telecom system works, or maybe the billing applications, how the billing applications work?
Definitely you need to have a background, Saujanya.
Okay.
Some level, basic understanding of that particular business is very important.
Okay.
And I'm going to come to that very soon.
Sure.
So why we are going through the SDLC is to understand how important the role of a business analyst is with respect to every stage of the SDLC. There is a general misconception whenever people get to hear this term called BA, all that would come to their mind is requirement gathering from the client and then documentation and then over. Go to the client's place, if possible. Go to an on-site trip. Just spend a few months there, sit with the client, gather requirements, document that, over. That's a general misconception. No, it's much more than that. It goes on till the end stage of the SDLC.
Okay.
Yeah.
The BA will be involved from the beginning to the end, right?
From the beginning till the end. At some stages, the involvement might not be very direct. When it is, for example, when it comes to testing, it's a supervisory role that a BA would do. BA will have to approve the activities that are done by the testers, approve the test case document, approve the test execution, etc.
Okay.
So in some stages, it might not be very direct, but it is important. Though it is indirect, it is very important. So with that understanding, we will then move to the very important part of the training, which is called as the domain training. And as I've told you, I would be explaining everything about this wealth management business, portfolio management, or investment banking. I would be explaining you the theoretical part, what is wealth management all about, what are the different aspects of wealth management, what is wealth management life cycle, what happens at each stage of the wealth management life cycle.
Okay.
So with that understanding, I will also show you a live product that's there in the market. A live software product on wealth management that's there in the market, and I'll explain you how the different events in the life cycle can be accomplished using a wealth management software product.
Okay.
And because of these two, I'm sure you will be able to gain enough knowledge, not just to crack interview, but also the enough knowledge that will help you at your workplace.
Okay.
So that I can assure.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you. Can I ask you one thing? I know apart from this, once we are done with this, like as we go further, if I give you domain information or maybe the application information, will you be able to briefly give me some ideas? How the application works and what should I expect? Because the one I'm trying right now is, as I said, it's a billing. Billing for telecom is one, and the other ones are the pure financial ones.
Finance as in what exactly in finance?
The banking.
Okay.
Banking. Everything is banking. I don't see any mutual funds recently that opened up, but everything is banking sector. I see.
Sure. I can do that. No problem at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sai.
So no problem. So once we are done with the domain part, we can go to the core BA training part, which is nothing but the requirement gathering. Now, whatever would happen from this session onwards, would be based on the domain training. So all requirement gathering, the client interaction, the mock client interaction that would happen as part of requirement gathering would be from that product perspective. Whatever product I'm going to share with you, all the requirements are going to be from that product perspective.
Okay.
So the best way of learning the core BA skills, is to get a hands-on experience on it.
Okay.
I'm not saying hands-on experience on the product, but a hands-on experience on the requirement gathering techniques and the BRD FSD preparation. At this stage, we would be doing a lot of real-time assignments on this live product itself.
Okay.
It's all going to be real time. Whatever BRD I'm going to hand over to you and whatever FSD I'm going to hand over to you as assignments are all going to be from a real time perspective. Okay. So we are going to discuss requirement gathering, BRD FSD preparation. We are going to do a lot of assignments, sample. I would help you in understanding the requirement, and then I would share the template with you, and then you will have to fill the template. Be it during the class, or you can do it in your free time. I leave it to you. But you will have to fill up those templates and come up with a lot of questions, and that's how the learning is going to happen.
Sure, definitely. Once I go over a few parts, the main things with you or in the class, I'll work on the other times, the free times.
Sure. No problem. So any document that's prepared, especially the FSD that's prepared by business analyst, would be considered incomplete without a process flow diagram. So it's very important for a business analyst to come up with a lot of process flow diagrams, at least one process flow diagram in an FSD.
Okay.
There is an effective tool that helps us in coming up with a process flow diagram. It's a simple but very, very effective tool, and that's called MS Visio. So this tool is most commonly used by the business analyst fraternity, and that would help us in coming up with process flow diagrams. So how is it that we can come up with process flow diagram using MS Visio is what I would be discussing as part of this session.
Okay.
There are a
And
lot
sir,
of
one more thing. I'm so sorry. I've been asking you so many questions.
you can interrupt me, no problem, Sajanya, no problem at all.
Okay. And about the QC, I think one of the most of them are using QC in Dallas area where I live. All the financial companies, they're using QC.
QC as in HPQC.
Yeah, HPQC, ALM.
Got it. Okay.
So
I'll do that. I'll do
okay,
that.
okay. I just want to I want to give you what I'm.
It's included as part of this package, Sajanya. It's included
Okay.
as part of the software testing part.
Okay. So I just want to know more about that application than the other one because I didn't use the QC before. I just
Oh, you have not used it at all.
no, I didn't use the QC before.
Okay, no problem. I'll show you. I have HPQC with me. I'll open it up and I'll show you how test cases are,
works.
defects are there, etc.
Yeah, defect management, how the defect management works and everything in QC.
Yeah.
Okay.
So HPQC is definitely a part. Now once we are done with this MS Visio, the software testing part, as you've already worked on manual testing, I need not go to the nitty-gritties of the testing process, but from a business analyst perspective, how the involvement would be when it comes to testing is what we would be discussing. Once done with all that, I am not sure if you would need this.
I might take some inputs. I know we can just I'll take some inputs from you on that.
And then if time permits, we will do the most frequently asked questions in interview from a domain perspective and from a BA skill set perspective, and then if possible we will do a mock interview. Now this is what I'm going to cover. I would generally cover, and this is going to be for 20 to 25 hours, Saujanya.
Okay.
Now out of all this, where do you think we must be spending a lot of time, and where do you think we need not spend a lot of time? Because we have to squeeze all this in 14 hours.
I want everything. I want everything, to be honest. Only the maybe resume preparation and all those things, maybe we can just, we don't need to spend that much time. As you said, like the mock interview part and other parts. But rest of the whole thing, I want everything, in depth for sure. Because everything is needed for BA. So I don't know, I don't see any other point that we can take it off.
Yeah, definitely. So now, I think we will have to spend considerable time on 3, 4 and 5, Saujanya, because that is what is most important.
Okay.
For any BA, that is what is most important. I would say half the time, must be spent on these areas.
3, 4, 5 and maybe 6 also. I'll just
6 is included. 6 is maximum, within half an hour it can be completed.
Oh, really? Okay.
So 3, 4, 5 and 6, I would say 7 sessions.
Okay.
And you will keep a track of all this, Saujanya, because I can't do it.
Sure, definitely. I'll keep a track on that.
Please make a note of it. 3, 4, 5 and 6. This is all subject to change. This is not, when I'm saying 7, I'm not committing, but we will definitely try to spend at least 7 hours on 3, 4, 5 and 6.
Okay.
1 and 2 in one session.
Okay, 1 and 2 one session. Okay.
We would have got over. And testing also in 2 sessions we will have to do. By then we would have done 10, and any miscellaneous for the other 4. Basically there is also, we also have UML as part of this.
Yeah. UML diagrams and but the wireframes also, I just want to know more about the wireframes, how to build the wireframes.
Wireframe, you will have to have there are a lot of tools in the market, Saujanya, to come up with wireframes.
Okay.
Now, if we get to know, there is nothing called most commonly used tool. It depends on the company, what license they've got, which one they feel is most effective. It's based on that. But for process flow diagram, if you say that this is the most commonly used one, though there are a lot of other tools, most commonly used is MS Visio. But for wireframe, there is nothing like that. Now, if you can tell me, I don't know if you've already got some offer from somewhere, because you are telling that it is going to be on billing for a telecom company. So,
yeah, that's.
So if you can tell me that the tool that they are going to use for wireframes, then if I know, is there a possibility for you to get that information?
I'll try to do it. We still have some time, so I'll try to do it.
Yeah, if you can get that, and if I know that tool.
Or maybe, it's not only the tool, like at least if I have a theoretical knowledge on that, how to do, maybe, then whatever the tool, whichever the company I go, whatever the tool they use, at least I'll have some basic idea how to do it.
That will be done. No problem.
Okay.
No problem at all. That will be done.
Okay.
So, so that UML use case and
Yeah.
little bit about agile methodology, how a project is driven when if it is waterfall, and how it is done if it is agile. Little bit on that. All of this in 14 sessions, I think you must be able to do. Not a problem at all.
Okay.
And I'm excluding today's session, starting from
Tomorrow. Okay.
that Masood will confirm it to you if it is
Okay,
going to be tomorrow or from Monday onwards, my Monday,
Okay, sure.
Indian Monday. So Masood will confirm it to you, Saurabh, because it's a long weekend, extended weekend.
I totally
I
understand.
thought of going somewhere, and just yesterday I got to know about your requirement.
Okay, okay.
In case I'm not going anywhere, I'm not traveling to my native or anywhere,
Okay.
I'll let Masood know. Then we can have a session tomorrow, same time.
Sure, definitely. That's not a problem.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
So you are happy with this course content?
Yeah, I'm happy. Very happy.
Okay. So all right. Then, so any doubts? Any more doubts you've got?
No, nothing. You know, I asked you, I interpret you so much in between,
No
and
problem.
to get to know, like, you know, what all I have doubts, or maybe, like, you know, what all I needed more than what you're trying to cover.
And then one appeal is, let's make it very interactive. It is not about disturbing or interfering. You can ask any number of questions, and you can feel free to come up with your thoughts. Let us make it interactive, and that's how the
Sure,
learning
definitely. Sure, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, Masood, I think I'm done.